Welcome to another installation video. In this video we will install Git, which is a versioning control system. So let's start by going to the browser and searching for Git like this. The first link is actually going to the Git website, that besides enabling you to download all these necessary files, also provides with a nice documentation with nice videos regarding Git. But for now, let's just start by downloading this installation file. It does take a couple of seconds to download this, and after the download is finished, we can continue with the actual installation. So we will install Git in the first step. So just start this installation file. Of course, says yes. We'll definitely accept license agreement, leave this as is, provide default editor. Default editor can be something, you can have something else selected here. It really depends what you prefer. In some of the previous videos we actually installed Visual Studio Code, so let's just select this one as the main or a default Git editor. This is mostly used for providing descriptions for commits. So click next. Leave this on Git from the command line and also from third-party software like this. Use the default use OpenSSL library. And on Windows, definitely leave this checked. Check out Windows style and commit Unix style and line endings. So leave this as a default option. Click next. Use this option of using Windows default console window instead of some bash variant. It's more standard on Windows. Of course, if you be using this on Linux or Mac OS, you would definitely be using some form of bash script or bash console window. But on Windows, it's the standard, this cmd.exe application. So leave this. Of course, you can leave this also as a default and just click next or install to install this on your machine. The installation actually does completes fairly easily and fairly quickly. So we will end up with Git installed on the machine. So we'll check first thing if this is working. In the next step, we'll actually create an account on GitHub webpage, but this will do it in a few seconds. We don't have to use release files, view the release files. So okay, so we have a Git installed. Let's just start the Windows command line or command prompt. So search for cmd, and this application command prompt app is the one that we want, and maybe just issue a command like this: git space minus version to see the version that we actually installed. Okay, so everything looks fine. So let's move back to the browser and open a new tab and just write github.com. GitHub.com is actually a website that enables you to host your own Git repositories. You saw for a minute that I logged out. I actually have the account there. So you yourself, if you do not have this account on GitHub, you should have one, so you can create it fairly easily. Just provide username, email, and password. And then sign up for Google and go through the procedure of kind of enabling this account. Everything is free. Of course, GitHub actually provides a paid accounts with additional features, but for normal use, you will not ever need this. So when you have it, you will be logged in. So I will log in or sign in as well. So my username is Mateusz Dolenz, like this. And my password is something like this. Hopefully I did not make a mistake. No, I guess not. So this is my view on GitHub. It does have a couple of repositories. One is actually the one that we'll use. So this Mateusz Dolenz /BeamA+. It's a repository. It's fairly empty still. It just only contains two files. One is .gitignore file that provides basic instructions for Git, what files to ignore when you would like to upload or commit or track files. And the one is the next one is README file that is actually shown here, just saying BeamA+ repository for BeamA3 Python content. Okay, so we have an account. Of course, your view on your account will be different from mine because I already have some repositories. But you can search GitHub for Mateusz Dolenz. So just go here and write Mateusz Dolenz, and you will end up on my account because all these repositories are public. You will see these repositories and you can select BeamA+ repository and you will end up on this web page. So let's first go back to the command prompt, and we'll have to issue a couple of configuration options for Git. The first one is the username. So just issue a command git global, git config -- global, like this, user.name. You can write whatever you want here. Basically, this is used when you commit your changes to a Git repository. And says nicely that, okay, Mateusz Dolenz has changed this and that. So I will just put here Mateusz Dolenz like this. Of course, you should use your own name. And the other option, again, git config -- global user email. Again, it's your email that you have used for GitHub, and mine is Mateusz. This like this. Okay, so I have configured this my local Git installation, and now I would like to actually get the BeamA+ repository from GitHub. So I should clone it. How do I do that? When on this repository you have one large green button that says clone or download. If you press this, you will actually have a couple of options. So either use SSH or use HTTPS. HTTPS, I think it's fine. Really depends on which platform you are, but just use HTTPS for now, and copy this URL that is presented here. So you never write this. You have a button here that says copy, and I copied this text here. You can also download the zip file of the whole repository if you prefer, but I think that we should learn to use Git in a proper way, so we should clone this. So go back to the command prompt and go to the, for example, in my case, I will go to a desktop folder, so cd to desktop, and now look at the files on desktop. There are none currently, and now I can use git clone and paste the URL that I copied from GitHub account. So this is it. Just press enter. It's now cloning the full repository from GitHub to my local machine. So if I issue a directory again, I see that I have a new folder, Be My Plus. If I go there and issue again, I see these files that I already mentioned. So gitignore file and readme.md. I can of course open those files. For example, I can view this readme.md file with Notepad and see the content of the file. So that's more what I was prepared for this video. It's not about using Git, it's more or less about installing Git and getting GitHub account. Of course, with practice and use of Git, you will learn a few tricks about using Git, and of course how you should use it on your local or your own projects, or your own projects that you would use with other users that can more or less, because of GitHub, be anywhere in the world. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.